Once a cheater, always a cheater, Steve?
No.
Okay, how
because men grow up and men change. You can make mistakes and grow from it and learn from it. Every time a man cheats doesn't mean you have to give him another chance either. All men can change, but there is only one woman we will change for. There is only one.
Y'all, America's #1 relationship guru, the man telling you how to act like a lady, the man on morning radio dishing out marriage advice. Steve Harvey has been married 3 times, and every last one of those marriages has a scandal the internet somehow keeps forgetting. Wife number 2 sued him for $60 million and used the words torture and soul unaliving in the court filing. And that is not even the wildest part. Steve Harvey came from nothing. Broderick Stephen Harvey, born January 17th, 1957, Welch, West Virginia, coal miner daddy, grew up dirt poor and dropped out of Kent State, worked as a mailman, cleaned carpet, boxed for a minute, first stand-up set 1985 in Cleveland, slept in his own car for 3 years chasing the dream. It's the origin story America has been sold for 40 years. Nobody who is telling that story bothers to mention that this man was already married.
The Bible says a man is as he thinketh. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you. If you live your life in despair, that's what happens to you.
1980, 23 years old, Steve married a woman named Marcia. Twin daughters, Brandi and Karli, came in 1982. A son named Broderick Jr. came in 1991. And that first wife, Marcia, baby. She raised those 3 babies essentially by herself for over a decade while Steve was on the road, in that car, chasing a mic. Broderick Jr. has been on podcasts since talking openly about years of estrangement from his own daddy. Years he did not know that man. Steve has admitted on record he was not there. Scandal number 1, and it never made TMZ. 1994, Steve and Marcia divorced after 14 years. 2 years later, 1996, Steve remarries. Wife number 2, a Texas woman named Mary Lee Vaughn. Now online, they are saying Steve was already involved with Mary Lee before the Marcia divorce was even finalized.
Please, stop. Stop ignoring the red flags in your relationship and thinking you can change a man. I think a lot of times, ladies, you don't give yourself enough credit for exactly how smart you really are.
That one lives on the drama pages, not in the court file. Take it or leave it. Mary Lee gives Steve a son too, Wynton, born around 1997. By 2005, the marriage is over and the Texas divorce is what every outlet that covered it uses the same word for. Tumultuous. Sealed settlement. Steve gets primary custody of Wynton. Then December of 2013, this actually happened. Mary Lee gets arrested in Collin County, Texas on contempt of court charges for allegedly violating the gag order on her divorce. On Fox 4 Dallas, she put the pain on camera. 6 of Wynton's growing up years gone, no way to reclaim them. A mother just asking for a door back to her son. And then, May 17th, 2017, Mary Lee Vaughn walks into LA Superior Court and files a lawsuit against Steve Harvey for $60 million. $60 million. The list of allegations reads like a horror movie. Child endangerment, torture, kidnapping, breach of contract, intentional infliction of emotional distress. She used a phrase you do not put in court filings unless you mean it. Soul unaliving. The filing itself talks about prolonged torture and severe mental pain.
If you say all men are dogs, you're gonna meet every last one of them. I'll never be rich. You won't. You won't.
She says she attempted to unalive herself by self-medicating, trying to cope with the aftermath. $60 million against the man America was buying marriage books from. Now Steve's attorney, Brandon R. Williams, came out swinging, denied every single allegation, called the whole complaint meritless and frivolous. And on December 15th, 2017, Judge Gregory Keosian of LA Superior Court agreed. He dismissed the entire lawsuit as frivolous, would not even let Mary amend it, seal portions of the file. His written ruling noted the claims appeared to arise from Steve's alleged infidelities during the marriage and from Mary's own arrest and gag order. Legally, the lawsuit is dead, frivolous, dismissed, done. But her YouTube channel is still up. Her Fox 4 interview is still there. And in 2017, while all of that was on the internet, Steve Harvey was hosting Little Big Shots on NBC selling America wholesome family entertainment. Sis, you cannot make this up. So on to wife number 3, Marjorie Bridges. They They first met at a Memphis comedy club in 1990, dated briefly, broke it off. Reconnected in 2005, married June 25th, 2007. Steve legally adopted her 3 kids. Beautiful blended family of 7.
And how on point your women's intuition really is. Your intuition works. Use it.
And here comes the receipt nobody prepared you for. Marjorie's first husband, a Memphis man named Jim Townsend, was a federally convicted substance kingpin. 1992, he got sentenced to life in prison for trying to purchase 40 kilos of substance. Marjorie herself was reportedly under FBI investigation as part of the operation, never charged, and Townsend has said publicly he cut a deal with the feds specifically to keep her out of it. A high-level clemency move on the last day of that administration cut Townsend's life sentence loose. January 19th, 2017. And ever since that man walked out of federal prison, he has been on a public campaign against Steve and Marjorie. In 2023, he published a whole tell-all called Snakes in the Garden. Refers to Marjorie by the nickname Lady H. In May of 2025, he teased a sequel and called it the hottest read of the year. Meanwhile, the internet has been running its own cycle on Marjorie. August 27th, 2023, a YouTuber named Keem drops a viral tweet claiming Marjorie stepped out on Steve with the bodyguard and the personal chef. That tweet later got deleted. Nothing came behind it. Steve responded that same day at Invest Fest in Atlanta. Told the crowd he was good, his wife was good, and folks needed to find themselves a new topic. Marjorie posted on Instagram the very next day and put it in writing. Foolishness and lies. Both of them denied it flat. And then last September, Steve sat down on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing Crowder and told the whole world Marjorie is off limits. Revealed he had personally confronted a podcaster who talked reckless about her. Told the host he could take whatever the internet threw at him personally, but his wife was not something anybody got to touch.
The moment you change the frequency that your tower emits, the moment you change that frequency, different things come back to you.
So look at the whole thing on one page. Wife 1, Marcia, raised 3 black babies alone for over a decade, while the world got Steve. Wife 2, Mary Lee, filed $60 million in a court that threw it out as frivolous and is still on YouTube. Wife 3, Marjorie, is dealing with a substance kingpin ex-publishing books and a fresh cheating cycle every 18 months. 50 years of Steve Harvey's love life on the record. And the whole time, morning radio, Family Feud, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, Straight Talk No Chaser, one book after another telling you how to fix your relationship. Little Big Shots was on NBC the same year Mary Lee filed $60 million. InvestFest 2023 headlined while Keem was going viral, and last year's Pivot sit-down happened while morning radio was still on the air 5 days a week telling women how to pick a husband. The persona and the paperwork do not match. That is not a man. That is a brand. And through all of it, the one who never came for the mic, the one who never filed a lawsuit, the one who never went on YouTube is Marcia. First wife, raised the babies, kept her dignity, watched her ex-husband become the country's marriage doctor selling advice she should have gotten in 1983, never got a book, never got a spinoff, never even got the courtesy of being named in the biography folks tell about that man. That is the woman this whole story belongs to. So tell me, baby, is Steve Harvey a redeemed man who did the work, reconciled with his kids, and built a real 18-year marriage with Marjorie? Or is he the greatest marketing act in Black entertainment, selling America marriage advice while his own record has been 3 chapters of chaos the whole time? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me what you really think. Hit that like, subscribe if you new around here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, baddies.